civil rights activist Maya Angelou once said, "A person is a product of their dreams." So make sure your dreams are great dreams and then live your dreams. Dreams lead you to your future that you want to behold. They are the visions and the imaginations that later turn into ideas and plans. They may seem like an easy process, but it's not. You must strive for your dreams as it will not fall into your hands. Dreams come true from hard work, dedication, and hustle. Lastly, a quote from Malcolm X. The future belongs to those who prepare for it. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the day.
At this time, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Good morning, Westside. I'm retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Michael Collins, GRTC Senior Army Instructor here. And today I'm going to present my poem titled The Reason. Like History Month is a time for acknowledgements and accolades. It's a time for celebrations and big parades. It's a time for us to tell our stories of trials and tribulations and pain and glory. We all know the heroes of present and past whose contributions will eternally last. There's Martin and Malcolm and Muhammad Ali, who all fought for freedom and equality. There's Harriet and Frederick and Rosa Parks, who challenged the system and brought light to the dark. Then there's Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history, who established Negro History Week. So here we are, 96 years later, telling you that our contributions are greater than the history books will ever acknowledge. Many of us have graduated college and made our marks in education, music, and the arts, and entertainment and sports, just to start. Then Oprah popped up in everyone's house. She was so dynamic, without a doubt. And Mandela and Obama became presidents of more than just a college, and they were gracious and wise and full of knowledge. And Kamala Harris became vice president, and her election set a precedence for little girls all around the world to follow. A leader isn't a leader unless someone's following. At Westside, we have Robert's Gym and a principal who's related to him. And who can forget that Miss Fogg is retiring this year? She is so beloved and so endearing. And our Lady Rams are balling out of control. They are well on their way to achieving their goals. The reason that we have Black History Month is clear. There is so much to learn and so little to fear. The reason. Thank you.
Against your home. The enemy came up against your shield. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win. Came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Yes, you will.
time we'll have a special presentation. I'd like to ask our Sheriff McBride to come forward.
Morning.
Morning.
If I could have Miss Hattie Estelle Williams come up here with me, please. Miss Williams, as all of you know, is a very special person. She's been around for a very, very short time, and she is one of our longest serving employees at the Sheriff's Office, celebrating 25 years. Woo! Isn't that amazing? Let's give her a round of applause. And she looks younger than someone 30 years younger than her, so I can tell you, she's doing very, very well. And very proud of her. We are actually sad that we're not going to have her directing traffic and keeping everybody safe and squared away, but she's been keeping students and their parents, which these days I'm sure is getting harder and harder to do, not because of her and where she is in her career, but how crazy some of the parents drive, right? Most of the parents. So. But anyway, we have a little something for her. We wanted to present her with this award to thank her for her 25 years of service and dedication to the citizens of Anderson County. So Ms. Williams, will I present you with this? Well, something else interesting, if I may, about Ms. Williams. She's not going home to retire. From what I understand, she's going to continue her service at Meals on Wheels also. So she's staying very active and engaged in the community. We appreciate her. Our community appreciates you, and you are a legend. So we appreciate you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The keynote speaker that we have today is someone that we can all learn from. Austin Nichols grew up in Anderson, South Carolina, where he attended Westside High School and graduated in 2013. After graduation, he went on to attend Coastal Carolina University, where he was heavily involved in many student organizations. This involvement gave Austin the opportunity to intern on a presidential campaign, study the impacts of global corruption in Norway, and become a founding member of AAIM, which stands for the African American Initiative for Males. One of his proudest achievements of his campus involvement was being elected by his peers as student body president of CCU for his 2016-2017 school year. Upon graduating in 2017 and earning his bachelor's degree in political science, he then attended law school at the University of South Carolina School of Law. During law school, Austin was a member of the Mock Trial Association, where he later went on to win the Mock Trial National Championship. After graduating law school, Austin was the judicial clerk to the Honorable Allison Renee Lee, the first black female circuit court judge in South Carolina. Austin now practices law with the Charleston Law Group under former mayor of Columbia, Stephen K. Benjamin, the first black mayor of Columbia. Everyone, please give Austin Nichols a warm welcome.
Good morning. So I'm glad y'all can hear me. I gotta say this, it's way too quiet in here for me right now. So we're gonna try to liven this up just a little bit because I can't sit here and be this quiet. So let's give all of our presenters, all of our speakers a round of applause one more time. My understanding is come Tuesday and next Saturday, we need to see twice the number of people in those stadiums when our women's basketball team wins another state championship. Well, I want to start off by thanking Mr. Roberts and everybody at Westside for inviting me to be here. You know, I never thought that I would be in this position when I was in high school, when I was sitting in this auditorium. Mr. Adair was the principal when I was here. He always has a soft spot in my heart, but COVID has changed this so much. You know, when I was here, you know, the stands would be packed here, you know, there'd be chairs right here on this side, and it's amazing to see what this global pandemic has done to us and limited us. So I also want to take the time and give our teachers a round of applause for everything they've done during these last 2 years. You know, when I was trying to write this speech and figure out what I was going to say to y'all, I really had two things that were setting me back. The main thing is I really didn't know why me, to be honest. I didn't know why I was picked. You know, when I was a kid, my heroes were Westside High School students. You know, my mom used to make fun of me. You know, Mo Brown, Lee and Lex Butler, they were my heroes. And they were just some high school students when I was a little kid. And so I was trying to figure out, you know, why I was picked to speak all these years later, because I didn't expect that. And the reality of it is I was picked because I'm honestly not that far in age from y'all, even though someone just reminded me, and I won't call his name out, but somebody just reminded me I'm pushing 10 years. So I appreciate that, Officer Tyrone, for letting me know how old I am. But I'm not that too far in age from y'all. It's not that long ago I was sitting here. But I told myself when I gave the speech I was going to be real, and I was going to be honest. And it is, 10 years has almost passed, and so honestly, I'm not that close in age to y'all. I'm really not. You know, there are differences amongst our generations. I'm a millennial. You know, we get all the love and praise. And then you all are Generation Z, right? And so there's some differences between us. And so as an icebreaker, we're going to break down some of those differences. You know, Mayor Roberts' generation, you know, I believe they probably wore Kango hats and parachute pants and pair of boom boxes or something. I really don't know. My generation, we for some reason thought it was cool to wear the skinniest of skinny jeans you could possibly put on and steal music off of LimeWire and put onto your MP3 player, your iPod. You all watch other people play the video game on YouTube for 2 hours and watch other people on YouTube get Starbucks or just do absolutely nothing, and I don't understand it, but that's y'all. Y'all also think it's cool to wear some white Air Force Ones and get them dirty and have creases in them. I don't know why y'all think that's cool too. And I see some of y'all up there laughing because I saw some of y'all with some loose toes when I walked in here. And so there's just some differences between our generations, right? And so to sit up here and try to pretend like we're just so close in age, like that wouldn't be real. And so what I said I was going to do is I was just going to be real and I was going to be honest. And that's the best way that I can relate to y'all and resonate with you. And hopefully something that I say today catches your attention and you hold on to it. But then that gets me to the second thing that was really holding me back. And I was trying to figure out what to say. You know, I texted my little brother earlier this week or last week and I asked him, like, what don't y'all want to hear? You know, I don't want y'all to be bored. At least the folks that weren't able to skip and sitting outside QT right now. But for y'all that are here, I didn't want to bore you and put you to sleep, and I wanted to say something that really resonated. And so what I landed on, the message that I wanted to deliver is understanding your why. You know, a lot of us have probably heard time and time again, you know, what's your why? Why do you do what you do? Why do you strive for the things that you strive for? But I want to take it a step further, and I want us to think about today understanding that why, right? So for me, you know, my why are these young men that I get to call my little brothers. And, you know, damn, I didn't think I was going to get emotional. All right. As I think about them, you know, understanding my why, understanding why they are important to me, really made a difference. Because I had to ask myself one day, why are they my why? You know, what makes them so important to me? And as the oldest of all my little brothers, you know, I always wanted to inspire them. I always wanted them to do what was best for them. I didn't care if they were anything like me or did what I did. I just wanted them to be the best of them. And so I realized that my little brothers are an example of the future. They're an example of the next generation. And so I have to do all that I do. I have to strive for the things that I strive for, work for the things that I work for, to create a better future and generation for them. And so, like I said, I'm going to be real today. I'm going to be honest. Before I got up here, you heard a little bit about my experiences. But I'd be telling you a lie if I said that those experiences, those moments, and those accomplishments that I've had in life really define who I am. That they really shape my experiences. Because they don't. In fact, I think my hardships, my tough times, make me who I am today more than any of my accomplishments. And when I think back on it, I really think that those hard times are the reason I've accomplished the things that I've done. So I want to take a moment, and I want to give you my real resume. And I got to be honest, I'm not really good with being emotional, even though we just saw that I was. And I'm not good with really talking about my hard times, but I'm going to give you a little snapshot of some of the things that I've experienced, right? So here's my real resume. Austin Nichols attended Westside High School, where an assistant principal recommended him for an internship in Washington, D.C. But he was suspended and ruled ineligible for that internship because he got caught sneaking out of class. Austin later was accepted into college, but he didn't receive any scholarships because he just simply didn't feel like filling out the applications. He then went on to Coastal Carolina University, and as a freshman, he ran for Student Government Association, where he lost by a landslide. He later experienced some depression in his freshman year due to the feeling of desperately wanting to go back home and feeling kind of lost, but he feared that going home would show that he had another failure. His GPA suffered as a result, and so he lost the one scholarship that he did have, making him take on extra classes and paying for those classes out of pocket so he can get that scholarship back. He later went on to law school where in his first year he gained 20 pounds due to the feeling of stress and the feeling of being out of place and thinking that he wasn't good enough to be there. Austin was very much a middle-of-the-road law student. Then, in 2020, Austin took the bar exam for the first time. And he was going to be the first lawyer in his family. And he failed the bar exam by 1 point. And so I say all that to say that I don't seek any type of sympathy or remorse, but I just really say that because it's the God-honest truth. And I say that to paint a picture of what reality truly is. That it's not a snapshot moment of just those accomplishments in life. And for me, I believe if it wasn't for those moments in life, I would be half as accomplished, half as successful, and certainly not half as happy as I am today. My mama tells me all the time, if it was easy, everybody would. But the most important reason that I say all of that is because in each and every one of those moments, I saw the faces of my little brothers. And I knew that I had to keep going so that way I could inspire them. And I knew I couldn't quit. I knew that it was more than just me. That I had to do what I had to do to create that better future for my little brother. My little brothers. My only regret is that I had shown them those hardships half as much as I've shown them any of my accomplishments. And while we sit here today during Black History Month and everything I've said so far has nothing to do with racism or civil rights or fighting against segregation or slavery, that idea of understanding your why and understanding why you're doing what you're doing is really no different than the Frederick Douglass or Dr. King or John Lewis or any of the heroes that we celebrate. Everything that they did, everything they fought for was because they understood that why. They understood that one day the world would surpass them. They understood that they had to fight for tomorrow's generation. Folks, we are only 54 years removed from the death of Dr. King and Robert Kennedy. We're only 76 years removed from the blinding of Isaac Wood, a black man awarded the Battle Star for his combat in World War II, who on his way home from war stopped in a little town called Batesburg, South Carolina, where he was beaten by police until he was blind, still wearing his military uniform. Many of our grandparents were older than I am today when a lot of those tragedies occurred. So the struggles of those times, the inequalities that they experienced, they're not issues of old or problems of yesterday. Those issues are some of the same issues we face today, just they take on many different forms. Today we still face issues of race and inequality locally, nationally, and globally. Still in 2022, a black man may go for a run on a sunny day in a neighborhood and be gunned down by a group of men just because they felt like he didn't belong there. A group of Asian women can go to work at the businesses that they own and be killed just because of how they look. Or right here in South Carolina, a group of folks can be murdered in church by someone that they prayed and worshiped with just because of the color of their skin. So yeah, today we sit in this school and we sit here amongst each other, people of different races and cultures and backgrounds and wealth. And we all get to learn right here alongside one another. And really, none of us know what it's like to go to school and to be separated, to be divided. But there's still a lot of work to be done. Even in our education system today, far too often in this country, your education may be dependent on your zip code. So no, today we don't have to march for the right to vote, but we still have to march for the ability to exercise that right freely and without interference. So every February when we look back on Black history, when we look back on the heroes of the past and the progress that we've made, and yes, we've made a great deal of progress, don't forget to look forward to the progress that still needs to be made. And I truly mean this when I say, all of you, your generation holds the power to improve our society and to make this the place that it was always intended to be. No other age group holds that power. Not Mr. Roberts' age group, not even my generation. You all have the ability today to create a culture in a society that has zero tolerance for hatred, for violence, for bigotry, in all different phases of life. You all have the ability to demand that everybody is truly created equal. But understand you will face some obstacles. You will face hardships and tough times in your personal life and in the work that you do. And it will be a lot harder than losing some SGA election. So because of that, it's imperative that you invest in yourselves, that you find your why and you understand that why. To understand why you're living. To understand that every single day when you walk these halls and you sit in these classrooms, you have to learn. You have to learn not just what's in the textbook, but why it's in it. You have to learn each other. You have to learn why the people that you're sitting next to right now are the way that they are. Why they are who they are. Most importantly, you have to learn why your life is worth living for. Your why may not be your younger siblings or some family member. And if we're being real and honest, some of you are sitting here right now and you probably feel like there's nobody that looks up to you. You may feel like there's nobody that you impact. But each and every one of you impacts somebody. So I ask you today to channel that motivation. Channel your why. Whatever your why is, channel it to be a better human being, to create a better environment, to create a better culture, a better society. Because that why is what's going to give you that motivation to strive for a greater tomorrow. Because it's way bigger than this moment, and it's way bigger than just us. You know, recently, a client of mine, she asked me, Austin, how many casualties are you willing to accept? And I had no idea what she was talking about. And I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And she said, Austin, you work every single day. You're very smart, and you do all this work for me and all your other clients. And every now and then, me and you will get on the phone, and we'll talk about the things that are going on in the world, and you talk with passion sometimes. Yet every single day, you see a different tragedy. You see people dying from disease. You see people without jobs. You see children hungry or receiving a poor education. And for some reason, you think that you need some type of power or money to do something about it. So, Austin, how many casualties are on you? How many are you willing to accept? And what she really meant by that is saying what we can and cannot do is an excuse. It's your cop-out. Well, I don't have the power, I don't have the money, I don't have the influence, I'm not important. So I ask you right now, how many casualties are you willing to accept? Just because you don't feel significant or important. Don't think just because you're in high school, or where you come from, or what you look like, or what your family is, that you don't have the power to impact and change the world. So empower yourselves. Educate your minds. Treat each other right. And I'm going to say that one again. Treat each other right. I believe in each and every one of you. I need you to believe that you can make this world a better place than how you found it. That you're no different than those people that we honor and idolize each and every year around this time. And that the folks that we celebrate at this assembly are some folks like you that we'll celebrate in the future. The world needs you to believe in yourselves, because your why, what keeps you going, the thing you love most, is depending on you. Thank you.
Austin, I'm going to come back to those powerful words right there. Ms. Wells, I need you to come back again. Captain Williams, I need you to come. Now the sheriff came and did an excellent job of recognizing and honoring Ms. Williams. Now Ms. Williams has been our crossing guard since I've been here at Westside High School, I guess, and before I got here at Westside High School. And we have a lot of things, it's a lot of moving parts at the high school. We have where teachers have to leave sometimes and we need coverage. Front office staff, we need coverage. And I can make all of that happen. But when Ms. Williams is not out there doing traffic, for whatever reason, it's a big problem at Westside High School. And it's a big problem on the bypass because it is not the same when you're not there. I don't care if Officer Taylor's out there. I don't care if Captain Williams is out there. When you're not there, it's a problem. It is truly a problem. And students, one of the things I want you to realize, because sometimes y'all don't listen. so I said it a couple of times. This young lady is over 90 years old. So every day, sometimes when you're a principal who is not close to 90, and I feel 90 sometimes, when I feel sorry for myself, or when I'm tired, or when I'm complaining, or when the students are doing things I don't like, I go stand up in the elevator at Westside, where our elevator is on the 200 hall, and I can look down and see Miss Williams out there directing traffic. And I tell myself, Corey, if Miss Williams can get up, get to work, rain, sleet, or snow, and direct our traffic, why am I feeling sorry for myself? So Miss Williams, I don't know what I'm gonna do now that you're not gonna be there. I guess I'm gonna have a big picture of you up there, so again, when I feel sorry for myself. But on behalf of Westside High School, the Sheriff's Department, in this community, congratulations on the job. Very well done. Let's give another big round of applause.
Hello, everybody. I'm not good at speaking, but I just enjoy working with Westside. And I'm gonna miss them too, and I'm gonna miss all my drivers, all the people that I attended to, because they mind me, and I have no problem. So thank you all very much, and thank you for the award.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Before I forget, I also want to do some acknowledgements now. Again, Austin, during his presentation, we gave a round of applause for our student participants and our band and our lead ROTC instructor. Let's give all our participants a big round of applause. I also like to give a special round of applause to Ms. Walletta Burrs. Ms. Burrs, please stand. Ms. Burrs puts our program together each year without any words from me, really. I just kind of say go, and she does it. So I appreciate you organizing everything and getting the speaker and making sure we have another great program. Thank you, Ms. Burrs. Also have Coach Strop up there, who's always behind the scenes doing a million things for us at Westside. In addition to teaching and everything else he does, let's give Coach Strop a big round. And my principal and my assistant principal in my time here at Westside, Mr. Adair, who started these programs, I believe probably 40 years ago now, and Mr. Mack, which I believe stand. I also want to acknowledge the Williams family for coming out and supporting your mother today. We certainly appreciate y'all. I also want to recognize Austin and his family for coming out and supporting him today. Thank you so much for coming. Now, Austin, you come back up. Those were some powerful words. The good thing about it, we recorded. Coach Strop, we did record, right? Because we'll be able to go back and really look at this. And you didn't even charge me to do this. I appreciate that. Because the message that he gave, I should pass some around and let us all put a couple of dollars in for him. But this young man he talked about hardships and the things that you have to do. And life isn't easy. Some of you have had hardships already in your life, but I think he's a living example of if you persevere and you continue to work hard. He was telling me about law school and how he gained a lot of weight in law school, not because he was eating, because it was very stressful. and how he continued to persevere and continue to do good things and continue to move forward. And actually went to Coastal, go down there and play some football, but kind of got involved in some different parts of school life, and I think it kind of changed his trajectory. So again, Austin, we appreciate you coming. We have a small token. We have a plaque that says, if you can imagine it, you can believe it. If you can dream it, you can be it. Acknowledgement as educators believing and inspiring our students for success. Westside High School Black History Month 2022. Let's give Austin another big round of applause. What this does, Ms. Bird, Ms. Williams, I'm not gonna make you walk over here one more time. I forgot the flower, I'm gonna bring it over there to you. I'm gonna bring it to you this time, because I made you walk back and forth too many times. On Westside, my students, I certainly appreciate y'all. You're the reason we come out here every day to work hard. Teachers, thank you for coming. You know what I'm gonna say, as always, go Rams.